Hey guys, I'm Hugo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be making chickpea noodle soup. This soup recipe is absolutely amazing. It's my go-to recipe when I'm feeling a little bit down or a little bit under the weather. The broth itself is really comforting and hearty, and it's perfect for this time of the year when it's really cold outside and you just want a really quick recipe to make at home just to warm yourself up and make yourself feel a little bit better. As I said, the recipe is super quick and super easy to make, and it's also very versatile, so you can kind of shove a whole load of old and dusty veggies that you have in the back of your fridge into the soup, and it's going to make them taste amazing. So let's get into the recipe and I'll show you how quick and easy it is to make. So the first thing we're going to do for the soup is chop and prep some veggies that are going to go in the base of the soup and make it taste really, really flavorful. So here I've got 2 large carrots, 2 sticks of celery, 2 onions, and I've got 4 cloves of garlic. And we're just going to peel and loosely chop these and then place them into the blender and blitz them until they're a little bit finer. Now we've peeled and loosely chopped the veg and whacked it into the blender, I'm just going to add 250 grams of chickpeas into the blender as well. And that's the same amount of chickpeas that you get from just a normal can of chickpeas from the supermarket. And we're just going to blitz this up until it's very, very finely chopped into almost a paste. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So you can see there it's blitzed down into almost a paste, and we still got these little fine pieces of veggies in there, but it's very, very smooth. And this is the reason why we've done this is because this is going to make our soup a little bit thicker and taste really great and allow all of the flavors from the vegetables to get into that broth. If the veggies are too large, it's going to take a lot of time for them to impart the flavor into the broth. So just doing this speeds up the process and allows that flavor to maximize and get into the broth. Now this is nicely blitzed down, we're going to start frying this off in a pan. So to cook the soup, we want a decent sized saucepan that's going to have enough volume to take 1.5 liters of vegetable stock later. So to the pan here, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And heat it over a medium to high heat, and then just chuck in the blended veggies and chickpea mixture. Then we're just going to cook that off for about 5 minutes or so until all of the moisture kind of is reduced from the veggies and it's started to soften a little bit. Okay, our veggies are looking nicely cooked off. Don't mind the steam, it's very cold in here at the moment. And now we're going to add in our spices. So we have 2 tablespoons of medium curry powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. And we're just going to stir that in and cook it off for a little bit more. Okay, I've just cooked that off for about another minute or so, just stirring to combine all the spices with the veggies. Now what we want to do is just throw in the rest of our chickpeas. I've got another 250 grams or 1 can's worth of chickpeas. And then I'm going to pour in our vegetable stock. So I have 1.5 liters of vegetable stock here. Oh, this is going to be interesting. It's just, oh, great. Every time. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a stir just to combine all the veggies with the broth. And we're just going to bring this up to a boil. This is nicely boiling away now, so I'm going to turn this down to a simmer and just place a lid on top of it. And we're just going to simmer that for 10 minutes. Now you can actually simmer this longer than 10 minutes, and I would actually recommend you simmer it longer than 10 minutes. When I designed the recipe, I wanted it to be as speedy and quick as possible, and 10 minutes is really the minimum time required to get the vegetables to impart the flavor on the broth. But if you do it for longer, you're going to get a much more deep, rich broth that's going to be tastier. So I'd recommend, if you want to really banging chickpea noodle soup. Do it for 30 minutes or so and you'll get this amazing broth. Cheers up. Okay. So it's been 10 minutes, so let's check on the soup and see how it's doing. Soup has this wonderful kind of thick yellowed curry broth, which is absolutely delicious. So now that's been simmering away for 10 minutes, we're going to add in all of the rest of the ingredients to finish off the soup. So firstly, we've got 200 grams of frozen sweet corn. You can use fresh sweet corn if you have it lying around. We've got 200 grams of vermicelli noodles, and 100 grams of fresh spinach. Let's just add all of this stuff in. I should have chose a different pan. This is going to go absolutely everywhere. Oh well. And so you just want to stir this loosely in until everything starts to cook off. You get after the noodles start to soften, the spinach wilts. You'll see when it comes together. So this is looking nicely cooked down. We've got some soft vermicelli noodles. We've got some wilted spinach, and the sweet corn is nicely cooked. As you can see, the soup it thickens up quite a lot. So it pays to have a bit of stock on hand just to loosen it up afterwards. I like to add probably about 100 ml to 200 ml just to loosen it. But that's basically done. You can see there, this wonderful colour, amazing flavour. And we're just going to top this off with some chopped parsley and a little bit of salt for good measure. And there we go. Chickpea noodle soup done. Thank you very much for watching the recipe all the way through. As I said at the start, this recipe is excellent if you're feeling a little bit under the weather and need something warming to bring you back up to speed. I really enjoy this recipe and it's so quick, easy to make at home, and it keeps really well in the fridge. So if you're looking for something to meal prep for the week, I normally make a massive batch of this and then just portion it out into individual containers just to heat up when I need, and it works excellently. Thanks again for watching the video. If you have any comments or questions, throw them in the comment section below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, the full recipe is in the description, so click that and check it out. I will see you next time. Thank you very much, guys.